what happens when these people do what they're supposed to do, when they give the gift and they get released. If you notice, it is going to push you into the receiving position. Now you're a receiver. You're now in a position to receive just like the people that had brought you in. Now watch carefully what happens. Betty is going to go out there and she's going to talk to two people. Giver number one comes in. She understands this activity. She gives her gift. Guess what? You have received $100. Giver number two comes in. He comes in and he wants to be a blessing and he gives the gift. Guess what? You now have been blessed with $200. Let me ask you a question. How many times did you come out of your pocket? You're right, one time. With how much? $100. Well, Bob goes out and talks to two people. Giver number three, she understands. She comes in with her gift in her hand. She's joyed and happy to be a blessing to someone. She gives her gift. That gift goes to you. And guess what? Bob also talked to giver number four, who comes into the activity, and he gives his gift. Guess what? You have now received $400. Let me ask you a question. How many times did you come out of your pocket? One time. With how much? $100. What else is going to happen? Stace is going to talk to her two people. Well, giver number 8, he comes in and he gives a gift. You have now received a total of $500. And giver number 7, who is expecting to have a child, understands being a blessing because she's been blessed and she gives her gift. You have now received a total of $600. How many times did you come out of your pocket? One time. With how much? $100. Steve, he goes out there and talks to two people as well, and giver number 6 comes in. He gives the gift to you. You've been blessed with a total of $700. And giver number 5 comes in, and that person gives the gift to you, and you have been blessed with a total of $800. Now, if you look at this classic model cycle, you can only receive 8 gifts. All of our cycles work exactly the same. Well, if you're looking at this right here, you're in the center. You're in a position to receive. You've received all 8 gifts. What happens, and I'm going to show you how this is not a pyramid scheme, because you don't stay there. You come out of the receiving position. Bill and Sue become a receiver. You go back on the bottom as a giver to help push people forward to be a blessing again. It is not a pyramid. You know that most people, well, that's a pyramid scheme. Well, guess what I asked them? Could you please give me your definition of what you think a pyramid is? Do you know that most people don't even know? They think they know, but they might not really know. Now, let me show you exactly on this classic model 100. All of our cycles work the same, and I remember it works on all of our classic models. Okay? Now, here you are in the center as a receiver. You have received 3 gifts so far. Here comes giver number 4. Now, upon accepting the 4th gift in any cycle, the receiving participant automatically goes forward to the next cycle. Forward from a classic 100 to a classic 250. When you receive 2 more gifts, upon accepting the 6th gift in any cycle, the receiving participant automatically enters a new cycle of the same class, okay, known as the re-entry. So here you're progressing from a classic 100 to a new classic 100 known as the re-entry. When you receive 4 gifts, the system is automatically going to open up a classic model 250, because on the 4th gift you're going to graduate up to the next cycle. Yes, you will be asked to give a gift on that 250. Remember, those gifts do not come out of your pocket. It comes from the gifts that you receive. Once you give that gift to the receiver, he or she will release you, and once you have been released, you will move into what is known as the inviting on that classic model 250. Again, when you receive 2 more gifts for a total of 6 on that first classic model 100, the system is automatically going to open up another Classic Model 100 for you, which is known as your re-entry. Yes, you're going to be asked to give a gift. And when you give the gift in the amount of $100 to that receiver, he or she receives the gift, and when they receive it, they will release you, which will cause you to move into the inviting. Now let's go back to that first Classic Model 100. When you receive 2 more gifts for a total of 8, that Classic Model is closed. It's completed. You can't get any more gifts off of it because the total amount of gift that you receive per Classic is 8. Once again, all of our Classics work exactly the same. Well, what's going to happen with the re-entry? Well, the re-entry is there for a reason. That re-entry Classic Model 100 is now going to take the place of your first Classic Model 100. So that one will now step in place because that first one is closed. Now, let me talk to you about the 7 values of our Classic. When a person comes in, they can only come in on the Classic Model 100. When you are a receiver and when you receive for a gift, the system is automatically going to graduate you to the Classic 250. Once again, when you become a receiver on the Classic 250, when you receive 4 gifts, the system is automatically going to graduate you to the 500. On that Classic 500, when you are a receiver and when you receive 4 gifts, the system is automatically going to graduate you to the Classic 1000. As a receiver on the Classic 1000, when you receive 4 gifts, the system once again is going to graduate you to the Classic 2000. On the Classic 2000, when you are a receiver and you receive 4 gifts, the system is automatically going to graduate you to the Classic 4000. And on the Classic 4000, as a receiver, when you receive 4 gifts, the system is automatically going to graduate you to the Classic 6000. On the bottom, it says all participants starting at the Classic 100 gift cycles. The automatic forwarding recycling progression will gradually bring you up to the next gift cycle each time you complete the previous cycle. The first 2 gifts you receive in any cycle will almost always be enough to gift forward to the next cycle. Now, let's talk about our Express model. Our Express model moves a little bit faster. And this is the reason why. Well, when you come in, yes, you're going to be asked to give a gift on the Express model in the amount of $100. When you give the gift and that receiver receives the gift, he or she will release you. Once you have been released, you will now move into the inviting. Your responsibility is to invite 2 people. Who do you know? Well, the first person you talk to happens to be Bill. He comes in, he's going to be asked to give a gift one time out of his pocket. That gift goes to the receiver. That receiver receives it, and you also going to be talking to Sue, who decides to also get involved in the Express model. She comes in and she's going to be giving her gift to the receiver, and guess what? That receiver has now received $200 from your efforts. Watch carefully once again what happens. When Bill and Sue get released, because remember, you cannot move and you cannot become a receiver until you give your gift. Once Bill and Sue have given their gift and they get released, it's going to push you into the receiving position. Bill falls in inviting number 1, Sue falls in inviting number 2. Now, Bill and Sue go out and get their 2 people each. Here comes a total of 4 people. All 4 of them have their gift ready to give, ready to be a blessing, and guess what's going to happen? All 4 gifts go to you to bless you and your family. How many times did you give a gift on this Express Model 100? You gave it 1 time, and you have received $400. Now, you now have a choice here. You could say, I'm done, and you don't have to get back into the Express model. But if you receive $400, and let's just say that you're not on the Classic, and you receive $400, Why not take 100 and go to the Classic?